Yes, here we are once again as a glorious Wednesday at noon Eastern Time, which means it's time for the High Noon Hemp Show on the Hemptations Beach Facebook page. We're here every single Wednesday for your hemp education, your hempucation, wherever you want to call it, however you want to put it. We're in a lot of places, audio, video, all that stuff. Search the High Noon Hemp Show on Google. A lot of links come up, the YouTube channel and all that, and it'll help our search results. I do believe that's how that works. I have no idea. Really, I'm just hoping that it'll help. I am Joe Clare, and the High Noon Hemp Show with Beach would not be so without Beach. So there is Beach, high above
Hello.
the Hemptations in Sharonville at the Ohio Hemp Quarters. Beach, how are things way, way up north?
They are wonderfully okay here at the hemp quarters, I will say, in high above the Sharonville. It's true. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It must be Wednesday. It must be high noon, because here we are at the High Noon Hemp Show. Gotta. I don't know. It's an average show today. We're just gonna call it an average show. Nothing too exciting. Nothing too crazy. A little exciting.
None of those
I shouldn't say
expectations.
that. It's come right out of the gate. And, it's funny. Now, I was, recently I've been sharing the show and starting a watch party on Facebook, but finally it's telling me I can do that. It's weird. No, it's not telling me. Anyway, now I can't do it on Facebook. I don't know. It's the same app, same thing I've always done. And for some reason,
Mark Zuckerberg.
So here we are.
Awful person.
Thanks, Facebook. Thanks, Facebook, for having us. Doing such a ridiculously bad job of having us. So thanks, everyone, for watching. We are doing a Cincinnati event. So anyone locally or in the area, or if you'd like to come in, Hemp in Cincinnati is going to be Thursday, November 7th. I want to talk a little bit more about it when I get down to events again. But I have been asked to be a part of this event. And so I will be there, probably doing a little bit of speaking, talking to people, and things like that. It's going to be at the 3 Points Brewery, and you can get tickets on Eventbrite or however that's pronounced, the source for all things private tickets, which I love the fact that they've got this. It's genius. I don't know how they make money. I haven't tried to sell any tickets on their website, but I think it's pretty genius that they offer just anyone the average opportunity, if you're having an event, to sell tickets and actually rival Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
So he's like, the monopoly of ticket sellers. And I think the internet's made it actually a lot easier for a lot of, like, even venues and stuff to keep Ticketmaster kind of out of it as much as they can these days. Either way, that I'll talk a little bit more about it. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to do some infused foods and that kind of stuff. But again, I'll fill you in a little bit more later in the show. So keep watching. I want to say that the elections are coming up, and although I am not usually a encourager of voting for individuals, I will say that we wholeheartedly 100% support Amy Wolfenberger in Ward 4. If you happen to be in Norwood or the Norwood area, I assume, and you are in Ward 4 and you can vote for her, I say do it. There's no reason not to. She is as cannabis and has changed things as much as anybody. Absolutely. The city of Cincinnati, I can tell you that, when it comes to cannabis. I first met Amy working with the Ohio Rights Group, and I remember meeting her down in Clifton, and it was it was a lot like anybody else meeting them for the first time when they're fresh to this. She had a lot of passion. She had a lot of drive. I tend to walk away with those. I'm not pessimistic. I'm not optimistic. I'm a realist. And, a lot of times up until that point, people say they're going to do a lot of stuff, but they don't follow that up. This is what I can tell you. Amy Wolfenberger follows up. That's why I'm telling you that I think she would be a good politician, even if it's just city council, is because she doesn't just walk the walk; she talks the talk. She does it, represents. She has, because she has shown up so much in Cincinnati. She has changed a lot in Cincinnati. And, to me, that's a testament. If you're going to vote for somebody that's done what they said they're going to do, or done beyond the expectations, in my opinion, of what they were going to do. Amy got pro-cannabis involved really quickly, I think, and she has not slowed down since. And that was, I want to say, 2013. I don't know, it's hard to. Long ago was the Ohio Rights Group. Now I'm going to have to go back and look at the Ohio Rights Cannabis Amendment. Let's see, do I have it on? Is it on a date there?
I know the Fountain Square rally was October of 2013.
Well,
So
that was
6
it
years
then.
ago.
That was.
Yeah.
I met her that spring, I believe. We worked together. Yeah, and so anyway, when you go vote for Amy Wolfenberger if you're in Ward 4. Love you, Amy.
Indeed.
Keep up the good work one way or another. Again, I want to remind everybody that the Ohio Department of Agriculture is still taking requests for public comment on hemp cultivation and processing. I implore anyone in Ohio or any hemp farmer, if you can honestly, a hemp farmer that works in a very positive situation in their state should get in touch with Department of Agriculture and let them know that they're probably not being treated like the Department of Agriculture in Ohio wants to treat the hemp farmers, which is excessive fees, excessive testing, stipulations on the plant that make it seem criminal, and whatnot. And so I think the one thing we really need to do is have these fees and all this, one test. The first test is free. That should be the only test you need, to be honest with you. I don't know why we need more tests. Maybe if you happen to, hopefully that means that if you come up okay in the first test, I guess I'll have to look into that a little bit more. If you come up okay in the first test, they don't bother you anymore. But if you come up hot in the first test, then maybe you got to pay to have it retested. I'm not real sure why there's second tests and third tests. If the first test should be free, and the fact that you have to pay per cultivar, per strain, as they call it, per variety. So if you're growing 5 different varieties of cannabis, then you have to pay per variety. It's not like you have 5 different varieties out in the field and that's what you just grow in industrial hemp, but it's 5 different kinds. You have to break it down into each one of those cultivars and then have that tested and pay fees and licensing. Although I think the license is just per location. I don't know. It's too much anyway. The license fee is too much. And so, again, get a hold of the Department of Agriculture if you're in Ohio. Again, if you're a hemp farmer. Now, recently, and I'd like anyone to let me know. I need to check in with my Kentucky hemp farmers. But recently, someone from the Department of Agriculture told an Ohio resident that Kentucky charges like $3,000 to grow hemp. And I have never heard that ever. And so I think that we lie. If someone that's a hemp farmer in Kentucky knows anything about some $3,000 charge from the Department of Agriculture in Kentucky or from the state, I'd like to know about that, because I just find that so hard to believe. I know they didn't the first year. And, I'm sure that they have changed the laws and the licensing and whatnot. I don't think they really have, honestly. I think the licensing is basically still the same. You got to have your application in, and they're extending it now because of the federal acceptance dates. But you had to have your application in, and I don't think it was that much to file it, $30 or something, 35 if I remember correctly. And then, you move forward. And so I don't know. Again, I think it's just ridiculous that any state, anywhere, would over license, over fee, over test, over anything. I get it with the testing and the THC and all that stuff. I really think that once again, though, that's something that if you have an industrial hemp cultivar and you're expecting that to be 0.3%, obviously you want to know if it's not. But if it goes all the way to market with more, then it's going to be up to somebody to figure that out, test it, and go from there. Which I think is going to seriously start opening the discussion for a higher allowable percentage of THC in Yule hemp plant. I don't know if they'll ever. I don't know. And now I feel like they're gonna come up with a cannabis plant that's not hemp, not marijuana, something in between, marahempa, hempawana, where it's again 1% THC, maybe high CBD, or just like 1% or lower, which won't be industrial hemp, but it'll be something different. I don't know. I can see him totally doing that. Got to have a whole different license and registration for that one, I suppose. Even though 1% THC is, again, I think it would make it easier to fail a drug test, but it's not going to get you. And so, we just need to get rid of drug testing for THC. How about that? That would be a beautiful world, I think, a fair world for people. I think that it's ridiculous to judge someone's work behavior or trustworthiness by the chemicals in their urine. What a freaking ridiculous idea. I get it. It's an insurance scam now, honestly. But and then people won't have to worry about how much THC is in their medicine or their personal products, which is really the way it should be. Educating and labeling is a better way than not having any education on the products, which is the current situation federally with most cannabis products. Anyway, so again, Department of Ag, Ohio, read what they want to do, and if you agree with what they want to do, then don't tell them anything. Because I disagree with what they want to do, and if that's the case. But if you disagree with some of the things that I've said, or just some of the things that are there on your own, don't go by what I say. If you feel like a $500 license is acceptable to grow something that's equivalent to corn, then you must have a lot of money, and you want to keep poor or middle class people from growing hemp. Anyway, but we'll see what happens. When it comes down to it, in all honesty, it doesn't sound like they're willing to accept what anyone says if they're already claiming that some other state real close to us has some exorbitant fees, and that's why they're going on this stuff, which I don't think is true, but I'll look into that a little bit more. If anybody out there watching knows if there's actually a $3,000 Kentucky fee to grow hemp or process or anything. Anyway, so we'll try to stay up to date. Obviously, we'll stay up to date what's going on in Ohio, and I'll let everyone know once it's actually in writing what the rules are. For now, check out what they're proposing the rules to be, and comment like they are unjust. Now, on to the product spotlight. That's right, 4 from the store, 1 from my door. It's now the product spotlight from Hemptations, while I take a drink of coffee and let you listen to the subtle tones of Joe's voice as he describes things.
Indeed. I will tell you that, as I said, search Google, the High Noon Hemp Show, find the podcast, the videos, they'll all come up. Google will tend to give you YouTube and Google Play. Luckily, we're on both of those things, so that's good. Jedi Hemp on YouTube, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Google Play, YouTube, Facebook. Just search the High Noon Hemp Show anywhere. If we don't come up, well, that means we're not there. Go somewhere else and try again.
Yeah, you're searching from Mars.
Yes,
do they have search engines on Mars? I don't know.
Search some platform that we're not on, well, then that's just too bad. You're on the wrong platform.
I would ditch that platform. That's right. I would ditch that platform immediately and get a better platform.
Google or YouTube or Podbean or Facebook. one of those
something.
and find us.
That's right. And all these products that I am discussing now are from the store, like I said, so you can go into any Hemptations and find these. If they're not in a location, then let the employee know that you would like them to be there, and we'll make sure to get you supplied up. Sometimes,
Make sure
everything kind of
that you saw the product on the world famous
That's right.
High Noon Hemp Show.
World famous,
Yes.
internationally known, because I'm pretty sure at least one person in Europe hopefully has watched it.
Yes. Even if by accident.
The first one,
they saw us.
That's right, even if just by accident. And they didn't understand what I was talking about. The first one is a new product to the store, actually made in Cincinnati. I'm really happy that these guys found me. I can't believe that after making this product, being from Cincinnati, that they've just now found me. But it's the Hemplete line of things. And right now they've got 3 different protein bars. And we also have some hemp protein over here. And this is a product, the hemp protein, we haven't had in a while because we used to carry a particular brand that made it kind of harder to get for us. And so I'm really happy these guys are local. They actually went to UC, University of Cincinnati, and then I guess it went to California to develop this. And they've been in California for the last couple of years, or first couple of years of being in business. Came back to Cincinnati. And then ran into a high school friend of mine that was like, have you talked to Beach? You need to talk to Beach. Which I can't believe they didn't know anything about Hemptations going, and then they came up with a hemp product. But, I'm really happy. I've tried the peanut butter and I have tried the cacao. And they are both very good. And they're typical protein bar. They're thick. They've got a lot of substance to them, which is what you want from your protein bar. And so check those out on the shelves at Hemptations. And they might be making their way to everywhere but Sharonville. This is at Sharonville because everything comes to Sharonville. That's kind of as Joe has said, that's the hemp quarters right now. And so then it goes out from there. And so they'll be making their way to a store near you if you're not near the Sharonville store. The second one is the Dr. Bronners shave cream. We love a Dr. Bronners. Dr. Bronners is, one of the biggest names in hemp users in their products. And so who doesn't want some organic shaving soap? I think the men and the ladies both can enjoy some organic shaving soap in different scents. So, or unscented if you prefer. Obviously, tea tree is good for the skin. We know lavender is very calming. So if you're shaving and you want to be calm while you do it, then maybe use the lavender. Peppermint's a little bit of a pick-me-up. So, if you're shaving and you want to pick me up, use the peppermint. Anyway, that's the Dr. Bronners shaving soap. Again, available at should be all the locations. If not in your location, let us know. Dr. Squatch. I love the Dr. Squatch soap. I tend to, this is definitely one of the bar soaps that I tend to have in the bathroom shower with me at most times. This is the Nautical Sage. If you like the smell of sage, and I love the smell of sage. We were in California recently, and we found some sage there that smelled like no other sage I've ever seen. It was most addictive. It smelled so good. I don't know what that is about sage, but fresh sage is just unbelievably, to me, a great scent. I don't know where it grows nautically, but I don't think that's important.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. But great product. We love our Dr. Squatch on the shelves in Hemptations for your using pleasure. And the last one's, tablets are huge these days. This is the Hemp Mania tablet case. Just a very simple zip, unzip kind of case to fit your, I want to say, not your oversized tablet, your average sized tablet would fit in these. As you can see, it's not the best picture, I guess.
I think it's sideways. I think I forgot to flip it.
I think
because they don't hang that way naturally.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking credit for not. Yeah, thanks for not taking credit for not flipping it when I know that's my job. Yes, Joe just threw
Well, actually,
himself
I
under the
think,
bus for me.
to be
But no,
honest, they some of them come into my broadcasting software sideways, or pretty much no matter what you do, so I have to flip them. But
I
I
see.
looked at that, and when I brought it up, and I thought they don't hang that way. That's weird. It's
Yeah,
physically impossible.
it is true. Almost. It is, but you can see they come in different colors, and it's just a nice little protective hemp case. I'm not saying it would keep your tablet from being broken, but it would at least help keep it safe if you did drop it. Don't drop your tablet.
Yes.
So there you have it, folks. 4 from the store. Get into any one of the Hemptations locations, Cincinnati or Dayton. I can go online and find some products, but I'm moving slower than I wish I was when it came to listing products on the website. Hopefully, I'm going to get motivated. Maybe this afternoon, I've got some time to get motivated and get some shots and get stuff up. The next one, as we say, comes from my door, and actually comes from Josie's door. Josie is our 90-pound Doberman. This is a Earth Dog products, the Earth Dog collar and an Earth Dog leash. And so all of Josie's accessories are, of course, made out of hemp. We really like the Earth Dog stuff. I've been carrying Earth Dog, their line, for quite a while, and I know you can find their stuff online. So if you have a dog out there and you're looking for a collar leash, they have harnesses as well. This is what we use. And it takes, I'm not saying Josie doesn't wear through her hemp collars after a while. She's a big dog. But I don't think we've ever worn through a leash for that matter. But I will have to say and again, usually when I say she wears through them, a clasp breaks. So it really doesn't have anything to do with the hemp initially. It's not that the fabric breaks down and rips. Honestly, it's usually she breaks clasp. And she hasn't done that in a while. She's still kind of obnoxious, but she's 6 years old and hasn't broke a clasp in a while. But she's a powerful dog. We love our Josie. She's asleep on the couch right now looking at me saying, "Why are you talking about me?" I don't know why I'm talking like that because that's ridiculous. Dog like it's a human. Jeez. What's wrong with you? So there you have it, folks. 4 from the store, 1 from my door or Josie's door, however you want to look at it. They are from the house. And get into any one of the stores or check out what we've got online anyway if you want to purchase products online. And now,
what I usually describe as the best segment on Facebook, I guess now really is the best segment on Google Play and iHeartRadio and Podbean and Facebook and
true.
YouTube. I defy anyone to prove me wrong. Give it a shot. I will not agree. It is the segment that's been teaching people how to dress for over a year now. The Beachwear segment, where we ask the most important question you'll hear all day. What are you wearing beach?
That's right. If you're waking up or you just woke up, or maybe it's on your mind, what are you wearing, beach? Now you'll know. From top to bottom, we've got this is a Hemp 420 hat I found on eBay, actually, and it kind of replicates the old Hemp 420 emblem or the famous emblem there. It's actually, I think there was a store in Atlanta, a hemp store, cannabis store in Atlanta that had that. Excuse me. And then, of course, the weather has broken here, so it's getting a little chillier. So I've got my hemp hood lamb jacket. You'll see me in a lot of hemp hood lamb jackets over the winter because I have a lot of hemp hood lamb jackets. Hemptations University, Young Maven, that was printed here, T-shirt. Got my Orvis jeans on. You can see my Green Springs Technology hemp pen in my pocket, as always. Hemptopia briefs. My Satori Canna-Leaf socks. And then, of course, my Saucony Jazz shoes. The Jazz are, I don't know if all Jazz are the vegan line, but I think the Jazz are the vegan line. And part of that is using hemp as a material. And so if you did wake up today and you said, "What are you wearing, Beach?" Now you know.
Go get dressed.
Now you can go get dressed.
You're
See if you
welcome.
can find some of that stuff in the world. Dress just like me for Halloween. Um,
That's right.
all right, a little bit of news. Not a whole lot of news. Some events coming up. I think the big news right now is the Gen Canna down in Kentucky. I'm kind of hearing both sides of this story now, where Gen Canna has been around for a very long time. Recently, they announced that they had bred a 0% THC. I don't know if that's actually coming to fall, but they have a family, so to speak. So you can buy into the Gen Canna family just like you would buy into purchasing any big seed purchasers. So I think, but I think there's an issue with one of the major purchasers or the Gen Canna family. They're suing Gen Canna because, and it's a production. I haven't really gotten all the details on it. What I found was interesting is last year these people made $1.9 million, and I don't know what happened this year that they feel like they've been wronged, and they do feel like they've been wronged in some way or another in the hemp farming industry. Jen Canna says, we support all our people as much as we can, and we don't feel like we've done anything wrong at this point. And so it's going to be interesting, I guess, to see how this works out. I guess this is really kind of this is going to be the first big test, and again, it's farming, and so there are no guarantees. I don't think anybody puts a guarantee on their seed. I suppose the worst of it is that people rely on subsidies, whether they're growing or some type of crop destruction. Of course, there's crop insurance, and so they're supposedly hemp is now eligible for insurance, and so I don't know if they didn't have crop insurance. So we'll see how this all plays out. They were part of the team or whatnot. And are very disappointed as to the results that they got this year. And so we'll see kind of how that plays out in the news one way or another. Starting tomorrow, we have a couple events. The first is the CWCB Expo at the Heinz Convention Center in Boston. I know John, one of our main watchers out there, is going to be a part of this event. He is one of the most educated industrial hemp people out there. Cannabis, period. Honestly, he is just like me. He supports all reasons to use cannabis, and is educated on all reasons, but is very, very educated on industrial hemp. Has been for a long time. Has a little hemp museum, and he shows off every once in a while, but knows his hemp. And so if you can get a chance to go and see him, listen to him, I definitely would suggest that. And again, that's tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, goes through Saturday, it looks like, in Boston. Also tomorrow and Friday, you've got the U.S. Hemp Building Summit in Ketchum, Idaho. So if you're out in Idaho, or if you're not there now, then you get on a plane or get there quickly. But this is the hemp building thing is very intriguing. People love it, and so that's Ketchum, Idaho. I would like to remind everyone that most of these events, or all these events, I try to have on the second page of the hemptations.com website. The first page is the events that we're a part of, or that we celebrate every year. And then the second page has the events that I talk about on the High Noon Hemp Show. And so you can go there and be reminded. That's where I wanted to go. I wanted to go November 1st through the 4th to Charlotte, North Carolina, to the HIA conference. And so that's the Hemp Industries Association's annual conference, November 1st through the 4th, and it's in Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina is starting to move forward real fast there. Industrial hemp down there, that's for sure. November 3rd through the 5th, you have the Florida Industrial Hemp Conference and Exhibition in Orlando, Florida. November 7th, say our event here in Cincinnati, the Hemp in Cincinnati. I said I'd bring this up again. A little bit more information at the 3 Points Brewery. Rick Trojan from the Hemp Road Trip is going to be stopping by. Trojan and I, we go way back when it comes to his Hemp Road Trip. He stopped by. I know the first couple of years that the Hemp Road Trip was out there, he stopped by here. I was on the Hemp Road Trip for 10 days a while back, which was awesome. So we always love when Tro stop by. And here's the thing: he has literally traveled the United States, educating, learning, politicking, every aspect of the education or whatnot part of industrial hemp. It traveled internationally, and he has as much on-hand experience from all over the country, all over the world, when it comes to industrial hemp. And so his knowledge, is unbelievable when it comes to the real world and hemp and whatnot. Because again, he's I'm gonna have to ask him how many miles he's put on the Hemp Road Trip in the bus, just the bus, not his international miles. But so I'm looking really forward to Troj coming to town and being a part of he's organizing, I should say, not being a part. He's asked me to do this, be a part of this, the Hemp in Cincinnati event. Queen City Infusion is also going to be there. And so these guys are huge. We love their products. Everything they do and have done here in Cincinnati. So they are a local company as well. They're going to be there infusing some food with CBD. And so, again, tickets are available on Eventbrite. And we'll start posting some links on all the Hemptations pages and Twitter to the event and whatnot. And so that's gonna be fun, educating here in Cincinnati. That is November 7th. Also November 7th, if you're in the Newcastle, Pennsylvania area, I'd still recommend coming to our event. No, you've got the Hemp Fiber Symposium at the Thaddeus Stevens School. And I am pretty sure that Sean from Hempsel is going to be there. And he has been in the hemp business for as long as we have. Hempsel's has been around for a long time making hemp food products. And so, again, he knows it. He knows the struggle. And he definitely knows what's going on with industrial, as far as being educated on industrial hemp and all those things. November 16th, you've got Hemp at the Crossroads in Indiana. That's about all I've got on that event. I'm not even sure. I'll have to look into where that is at this point. November 16th, you also have the Kentucky Hemp CBD Symposium and Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. So those are coming up pretty quickly. If you're interested in purchasing hemp, November 19th and the 21st, you have the International Hemp Auction and Market in Nashville, Tennessee. This event is very intriguing. I think it's going to be CBD still, but that's a very an interesting statement. International Hemp Auction and Market in Nashville, Tennessee. And so, well, that gets us through November for what I have right now. Most of everything else is next year, and I'll talk about that later. I don't think I have any questions. Anybody got any questions before we sign off for the question segment of the High Noon
no
show?
Comments, but I will say that it seems like Facebook is being worse than usual in letting people know that we're actually out there. It seems.
I think you might be right.
It's I don't know. I mean, there's not many more ways I can say how much Facebook sucks. There's not many more different ways I can say it. It's just
before we sign off on our Facebook broadcast, we'd like to let Facebook know that, come on, Facebook. Well, let your friends, if you're the one viewer, let all your friends and neighbors know that we're here every Wednesday at high noon for the High Noon Hemp Show at the Facebook page Hemptations Beach. But you can go to Twitter. You can check out the podcast at iHeart, all those other things. We're everywhere out there. Go to the website. All the links are off the website, hemptations.com. Thank you for watching the 56th episode of the High Noon Hemp Show. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See you all next week. Facebook sucks.